What if I told you that the workout routines you've trusted for years might actually be limiting your ability to stay healthy and strong after age 60? Even as a medical professional, I was stunned reviewing the newest findings on this. A remarkable 2024 study from the University of Copenhagen tracked over 8,000 adults aged 60 and above for 5 years and discovered something revolutionary. Those who swapped their usual walking sessions for 5 targeted exercises saw a 73% reduction in fall risk and an incredible 89% boost in strength. That's nearly doubling physical performance, while drastically lowering injury risk. The results were so unexpected that researchers ran the trial twice more and confirmed every finding. Even more fascinating, these participants spent 40% less total exercise time than the walking group, yet outperformed them across all major health indicators. Blood pressure improvements with 31% higher, joint pain dropped 67% versus just 12%, and bone density didn't just hold steady, it actually increased. But here's what really grabbed my attention, and why you need to hear this. One exercise on that list is so straightforward that 94% of participants could perform it immediately without training or equipment. Yet that single move improved lifespan markers by 42%. According to the latest longevity research from Harvard Medical School, this exercise activates what scientists call mechanotransduction pathways, biological signals that literally tell your cells to behave like younger ones. Once you understand this, you'll never look at exercise the same way again. This could be the difference between walking confidently at 80 or needing a cane by 70. Before we dive in, tell us in the comments your age and where you're watching from. We read and respond to every comment. So don't be shy. Now, let us get started and explore how to future-proof your body so you can move like you're 40 again. Number one, wall push-ups. With hold, starting off our countdown is wall push-ups with hold. And while it may look too easy to matter, science says otherwise. A 2023 study, published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, found that adults over 60 who practiced this simple exercise for 8 weeks improved their upper body strength by 34% more than those doing standard movements. Here's why that's important. After age 60, the average person loses about 3% of muscle mass per year unless it's actively maintained. And that's not just about appearance. Upper body strength directly affects everyday independence. Carrying groceries, opening jars, or catching yourself if you stumble. Wall push-ups with hold develop what exercise physiologists call functional strength patterns. The movement types you rely on constantly in daily life without even realizing it. How to do it. Stand roughly 1 arm's length from a wall. Place your palms flat against it at shoulder height and width. Keep your feet together or slightly apart. Lean forward slowly until your nose almost touches the wall. Pause and hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Push back to your start position. The tempo is key. Lean in for those seconds. Hold 3 to 5 seconds. Push back for 2 seconds. This is low. Deliberate motion increases your time under tension. Proven to be far more effective for strength building after 60 than quick reps. Start with 5 repetitions, working your way up to 15. Too easy. Step your feet farther back. Too hard. Move closer. A University of British Columbia study found that seniors who did wall push-ups with holds 3 times a week for 12 weeks increased pushing strength by 41% and improved reaction time by 23%. That's crucial because quicker reaction time means fewer falls. Researchers found that the hold portion specifically enhances proprioception, your body's awareness of position and movement in space. One of the first things to decline with age. So this isn't just building muscle. It is training your brain and nervous system to stay sharp and responsive. Next up at number 4 is the seated leg lift with resistance. An exercise that looks gentle but delivers powerful results. If you think sitting down makes it easy, prepare to be surprised. A 2024 study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine revealed that older adults who performed seated leg lifts with added resistance improved walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45% in just a few weeks. These numbers aren't random. Walking speed is now recognized as one of the strongest predictors of overall health, and longevity doctors even call it the 6th vital sign. Here's why this move works so well. It strengthens your hip flexors and quadriceps while engaging your core for stability. These muscle groups are responsible every time you step forward, rise from a chair, or climb stairs. Yet traditional walking alone doesn't challenge them enough to stop age-related decline. How to perform it? Sit tall in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor and back straight. Beginners can start with body weight only. As you improve, add light ankle weights or a resistance band. Slowly extend your right leg straight in front of you. Keeping the knee as straight as comfortable, aim for parallel with the floor. Hold the lift for 2 seconds. Then lower slowly without letting your foot touch down. Repeat 10 to 15 times on one side. Then switch legs. Pro tip: keep your back pressed firmly against the chair. That prevents momentum and ensures you actually engaging the right muscles instead of straining your lower back. What makes this move particularly effective is something called unilateral training, working one limb at a time that forces each side of your body to perform independently, correcting the muscle imbalances that often creep in with age. To keep progressing, add a little more resistance every couple of weeks. Just 1 or 2 pounds on each ankle or a slightly tighter band. This gradual increase creates progressive overload, the stimulus your body needs to keep adapting. Research consistently shows that muscles and bones can respond to progressive challenge at any age, debunking the myth that building strength past 60 is impossible. In fact, older adults often experience faster relative improvement because they're restarting from a lower baseline, meaning results can feel dramatic. Now that we've covered lower body strength and mobility, let us move on to an exercise that focuses on a completely different but equally vital component of healthy aging: balance and circulation. At number 3, we have standing heel raises with a balance challenge, an exercise that looks deceptively simple but addresses one of the most neglected aspects of aging well: calf strength and ankle stability. A major 2023 study by the National Institute on Aging found that calf strength alone was the single strongest predictor of long-term independence. In adults over 60, participants with well-developed calves were 71% less likely to need assisted living and experienced 64% fewer fall-related injuries. Here's why that matters so much. Your calf muscles act like a secondary heart, helping to pump blood upward from your legs. When they weaken, circulation slows, swelling increases, and the risk of blood clots rises. Strengthening them not only improves balance and mobility, but also supports your entire cardiovascular system. How to do it? Stand behind a sturdy chair, lightly holding the back for support if needed. Rise up onto your toes as high as you comfortably can, pressing through the balls of your feet. At the top, pause and balance for 3 seconds, keeping your eyes forward, not looking down. Slowly lower your heels back down over the course of 3 seconds. This slow lowering phase, called the eccentric portion, is where most strength gains actually occur. Start with 10 repetitions, then gradually increase to 25 as you improve. Onseiyu kando 25 isili, while barely touching the chair. Challenge yourself further by performing the movement on 1 foot at a time. This doubles the resistance and dramatically improves balance. A landmark study from Japan's Longevity Research Center discovered that adults over 60 who could complete 20 single-leg heel raises had biological age markers similar to people 15 years younger. Their arterial flexibility was also 43% better than peers who couldn't do the move. Researchers found that heel raises activate something known as the muscle pump mechanism more effectively than almost any other movement. Each time you lift and lower, you're squeezing blood vessels in your calves, pushing blood back to your heart. This improved circulation boosts oxygen and nutrient delivery to the entire body, even the brain. In fact, participants in that same study improved their cognitive performance by 26% after just 12 weeks, thanks to increased blood flow to the brain. But the benefits go beyond circulation. This exercise strengthens the exact muscles and tendons that help you recover from a trip or stumble. When you lose balance, your toes push off the ground to catch you, and weak calves can't produce that force. The balance component of heel raises retrains your brain and muscles to react faster, building coordination and resilience. MRI studies have even shown that this type of balance training increases gray matter volume in brain areas linked to movement and spatial awareness. To get the best results, vary your speed. 2 days a week, Perform them slowly with a controlled 3-second rise and hold. 1 day a week. Do them faster. 1 second up, 1 second down. Still maintaining control. This variation prevents your muscles from adapting and keeps progress steady. Now that your calves and balance system are activated, it's time for exercise number 2, which builds full body power and directly supports one of the most essential daily movements for independence. Coming in at number 2 is the modified squat to chair, a movement that deserves a place in every senior fitness routine. Now, before you worry about your knees, listen to this. At 2024 meta-analysis of 42 studies, involving over 15,000 participants, found that properly performed chair squats not only didn't harm the knees, they actually reduced knee pain by 58%. The key word here is properly. Once you learn the right form, you'll see why this exercise ranks so high. It targets multiple major muscle groups: your glutes, quads, hamstrings, core, and even your back muscles. This matters more than most people realize. The simple sit-to-stand motion is one of the first functional abilities people lose with age. When you can no longer rise from a chair without assistance, your independence begins to shrink dramatically. Research shows adults who failed the sit-to-stand test without using their arms face a 3-fold higher mortality risk over the next 5 years. That's how crucial this movement is. How to do it correctly. Choose a sturdy chair that lets your knees form about a 90 angle when seated. Stand with your feet about hip-width apart, toes pointing slightly outward. This position aligns with natural hip movement and protects your knees. Cross your arms over your chest or extend them forward for balance. Begin by pushing your hips back first, as if you're reclosing a car door with your glutes. This hip hinge motion engages your powerful glute muscles, instead of stressing your knees. Lower yourself slowly over 3 seconds until your glutes lightly touch the chair. Danti, fully sit or relax. Then press through your heels, squeeze your glutes, and rise back up in about 2 seconds. That's 1 repetition. Start with 5 to 8 reps, and gradually build up to 15 to 20 as you grow stronger. A fascinating study from the Stanford Longevity Center found that adults over 60 who performed chair squats 3 times per week for 6 weeks increased lower body power. Not just strength, 47%. Power, the combination of strength and speed, is even more important than raw strength for preventing falls and maintaining independence. Participants also improved their walking speed by 0.2 meters per second, which might sound small, but in clinical terms, it's the difference between dependence and independence. Even more impressively, fMRI brain scans showed increased activation in the motor cortex, the brain area responsible for movement control. In other words, this exercise was literally rewiring their brains for smoother, stronger movement patterns. Progression plan: weeks 1 to 2. Use a standard height chair. After 2 weeks, once you can perform 15 reps easily, switch to a slightly lower surface, such as a sturdy ottoman. Advance. Over time, progress to performing squats without a chair. Simply stop where the chair would normally be. Optional. Add light hand weights to further boost muscle activation and bone strength. This movement builds the foundation for staying mobile, steady, and independent, no matter your age. Now, get ready for the number 1 exercise on our list. The one that's redefining what it means to stay youthful and strong after 60. Taking the top spot, and for good reason, is the bird dog hold progression. Once you understand the science behind it, you'll see why it's being called the most powerful exercise for healthy aging. This is the same movement mentioned earlier, the one that improved lifespan markers by 42% in Harvard's recent longevity research. It may look simple, but it targets nearly every key factor of aging: core strength, balance, coordination, brain function, posture, and even bone health. A 2024 paper in the Journal of Gerontology described the bird dog as the single most effective full-body movement for adults over 60, and the results are nothing short of extraordinary. Why? It works. The bird dog position requires you to balance on opposite arm and leg while keeping your spine stable and neutral. This diagonal pattern mirrors how your body naturally moves when walking or climbing stairs. To maintain this posture, your brain has to coordinate communication between its left and right hemispheres, a process called cross-lateral neural firing. According to research from the Cleveland Clinic, This brain activity enhances memory, balance, and coordination while reducing dementia risk by up to 31%. How to perform it? Start on your hands and knees, on a soft surface like a yoga mat. Hands should be directly under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Keep your spine neutral, no arching or rounding. Extend your right arm forward and left leg back simultaneously, forming one straight line from fingertips to toes. Hold for 5 seconds, focusing on keeping your hips level and your core tight. Lower slowly, then switch sides. That's 1 repetition. Begin with 5 reps per side, increasing your hold time and control as you improve. Progression plan. Weeks 1 to 2. Hold 5 seconds per side. Weeks 3 to 4. Increased hold to 10 seconds. Weeks 5 to 6. Add a small pulse. Lift your extended arm and leg an inch higher, then back to level, while holding steady. Weeks 7 to 8. Try it with your eyes closed to challenge your balance and proprioception even more. A 2-year study from the Mayo Clinic followed 500 older adults who performed bird dog exercises 4 times per week. Their results were stunning. Core strength increased by 93%. Lower back pain dropped by 76%. Fall risk reduced by 82%. And most surprising of all, bone density in the spine and hips increased by 3.2%. That's equivalent to reversing 4 years of typical age-related bone loss. Scientists traced these benefits to a process called mechanotransduction, when mechanical tension from movement sends signals that tell your cells to rebuild stronger bone and muscle tissue. Essentially, your body gets the message. We need to be tougher, and responds by literally reinforcing itself. Even more fascinating, neuroimaging studies from Germany found that practicing the bird dog activated more areas of the brain simultaneously than any other exercise tested. After just 8 weeks, participants showed measurable growth in brain regions related to spatial awareness, balance, and executive function, meaning they were actually developing new gray matter at an age when most people lose it. The bird dog also enhances something many people over 60 struggle with: rotational stability, or the ability to resist twisting forces that can injure the spine. This stability is essential for tasks like turning to look behind you, reaching sideways, or carrying uneven loads. Breathing tip. While holding the position, take deep, controlled breaths through your nose. This engages your deep core stabilizers and helps regulate blood pressure. Avoid holding your breath. Slow breathing improves oxygen delivery and supports endurance. For even greater benefit, imagine reaching your hand forward and pressing your foot backward at the same time. This technique, called irradiation, spreads tension throughout your entire body, activating more muscle fibers and improving neural efficiency. Research shows this simple focus can increase strength gains by up to 40%. The takeaway: these 5 exercises clearly outperform traditional walking for adults over 60. Not because walking is bad, it's great for general health, but because walking alone doesn't provide the diverse challenges your body needs to truly thrive. Together, these movements build strength in multiple planes of motion, better balance and coordination, improved cognitive and neural function, denser, stronger bones, a more resilient and youthful body. Best of all, the total time commitment is just 20 to 25 minutes, 3 to 4 times per week. Compare that to the hour-long walks often recommended, and you're getting better results in half the time. In the University of Copenhagen study, participants doing these targeted routines exercised for an average of 75 minutes weekly, compared to 180 minutes for walkers, yet scored higher across every health metric measured. The key is progress, not perfection. Start where you are, even if that means doing modified versions or fewer reps. Your body adapts faster than you think, and research has shown meaningful improvements, even in adults, well into their 90s. Body never loses its ability to grow stronger. It just needs the right kind of challenge, and these 5 exercises provide exactly that. Now we'd love to hear from you. What S1 everyday activity that has become harder since turning 60, and that do you love to improve? How many minutes a week do you currently dedicate to exercise? And what's been your biggest challenge in staying consistent? Share your answers in the comments. We read every single one. Thanks so much for watching, and here's to staying strong, balanced, and confident at every age.